And you may be wondering, why was he playing AC/DC at the beginning of the lesson today? And the reason is because today what I want to talk about is the guitar, and in particular, picking out a guitar for a young student, or if you are a young student, what kind of a guitar should you be getting your hands on? And of course, I teach a lot of young students. A lot of the young boys in particular are very, very interested in learning that solo that we began the segment with this week, the solo from Back in Black. And so that's why I thought I'd introduce it, because this is the guitar that they learn that solo on. And this is a mini Strat by Squier, which is a Fender company. And this is the electric guitar that I recommend for my young students. It's a fully functional Stratocaster, but in a miniature scale size. So it's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and very, very reasonably priced. It's 140 bucks Canadian if you're buying one in Canada. If your kid wants to play an electric guitar, I strongly recommend this particular guitar as a starter guitar for a smaller kid. It's suitable for somebody with smaller hands, you know, an 8 or 10-year-old kid who wants to start playing electric guitar. But it's fully functional, as you could see in the demo section at the beginning of the segment. So that's one particular recommendation that I have if you have a child who wants to learn to play electric guitar. I'm going to talk some more a little bit later about you know, what kind of a guitar, whether you should start off with an acoustic, but the nub of all of that is basically what's really important is that your child be allowed to and encouraged to play the music that they want to play. Okay, the way that I teach, particularly young kids, but generally, is I allow my students to choose whatever repertoire they want to learn, and then I just learn those songs and teach them how to play those songs, whatever songs they may be. When you do that, then the music is relevant to the student, and then the student is motivated, and then they're going to pick up their instrument. So if a child wants to play rock and roll, or if a child wants to play the blues, or if you know, if they want to play whatever, you know, country music or hip hop stuff, if it has guitar in it, I'll teach it to them. And if they want to play whatever they want to play, it's fine. As long as they enjoy that particular music, they're going to pick the instrument up, they're going to play. If they pick the instrument up on a regular basis, they're going to gain skill. And I do want to give a little shout out to my friend and student Matisse, who loaned me his mini Strat for today. But I've tried other small scale guitars. Don't go to a toy store, go to a music store and buy a proper guitar if you can. And a lot of music stores will include a free setup, which means they'll adjust the strings and the neck and what have you, so that the guitar is very playable. A lot of guitar stores do that for you. So, I'm just gonna rip that out. Next option is, what if you have a student who wants to play an acoustic guitar? This is one option. Again, this is a Canadian option. I don't know if this is available in outside of Canada. This is a brand called Beaver Creek. This is actually a travel guitar. So again, it's quite small. A lot of my younger students play it. This one is a little bit quiet because I have it strung with silk and steel strings. And that's one of the sort of guitar teacher tricks, is if you have a brand new student, if you put silk and steel strings on a steel string or you know, steel string guitar, they're quite pliable, the silk and steel strings, so they're easier for small hands to push down. One of the first things that students, of course, are complaining about is that their fingertips are sore, so you want something that's easy for them to manage. But this is a proper guitar, and it tunes properly, which is really important. A lot of toy guitars don't tune properly. This is an actual instrument. This runs somewhere between, I think around 250, 200 and a quarter, something like that, depending on where you buy it. And that's the Beaver Creek guitar. some other small guitars, and they also make, I think they still make this in a nylon string model. So if you have somebody who wants to play a nylon string guitar, it's available in this format. I know that some of the classical guitar manufacturers manufacture a student guitar in a 3/4 scale. So if you have a kid who wants to play classical guitar, you can get a proper classical guitar with nylon strings for them. And then in the steel strings, there are a couple of other options if you want to spend a little more money. One of the guitars that I've recommended numerous times, and it's a fabulous guitar. Professionals use it. It's called the Art and Luthery Ami, A-M-I, Ami parlor guitar, and it sells for, I think, for about 360 to 400 Canadian dollars. So it's not really expensive, but it's a very, very good guitar. Slightly bigger than this, but still quite a small, light body. A beautiful, beautiful sound. This guitar sounds like a travel guitar. So it's a little bit quiet. Doesn't have the same richness. It does come, this one's an older one, it has a pickup in it. The newer ones have a pickup and a guitar tuner built into them. Some of my students have those. But this is a nice little guitar. So the Ami parlor guitar by Art and Luthery, and another fabulous guitar, if you have a little more money, is the, I think it's called the Baby, the Taylor Baby guitar. And it's, again, it's a travel guitar. It's about the size of this, more or less, but it's really, really nice. It's a really nice guitar. Very light, slightly small scale, like this one is. Beautifully made, sounds like $1 million. Costs about, I think it costs about 500 Canadian dollars, I think. So there are some options. Let's talk about one other thing with your young students. And that is, what kind of guitar should you be getting? These are some options for you. Definitely don't get a toy guitar. I know, don't go to the toy store, don't go to the department store, don't go to the drugstore. Go to a music store or look online, call me, send me an email. My email is in the the bottom of the information there at the bottom of the screen. And I'll give you some tips, I'll give you some help at no cost and guide you towards the right kind of guitar. What kind of guitar should you get for your kids? A lot of parents come to me and say, oh, I've always heard that you should start on an acoustic guitar and you know, go to an electric guitar later, and what's easier to adapt to. This is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo lore that people pass around. It's old wives' tales. Here's the most important thing for you to know. You have to buy a guitar that your kid is going to be excited to play. If your kid wants to play Taylor Swift songs, and Taylor Swift is playing most of her songs on a steel string acoustic guitar, then that's what you want. Get the guitar that your kid's going to play. If your kid likes rocking out with you know, with Prince or whoever, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, it doesn't matter. If your kid likes playing rock and roll or funk or R&B or blues, and I have young kids who do, get them an electric guitar. Because here's the thing: if you get your kid a guitar that plays the kind of music that they like, and you get them hooked up with a teacher who will let them study the music they like, they will pick the guitar up. If they pick the guitar up, they'll get good at it. If you you know, if you turn it into a process like your parents might have done for you, where it's you know, a torture test and they have to stay in and they can't play and they have to practice half an hour every day and playing a bunch of music that they don't like, then they'll develop a deep and abiding hatred for music, and as soon as they possibly can, they'll quit the instrument. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you want your kids to enjoy music, let them play the kind of music they want. Find out what kind of music they're interested in. If they don't know, make them find out before you invest in an instrument, because it's really important. And then, and they can just listen to songs they like listening to and pick out what's the sound they like, you know. Then if they're playing music, if they're learning music that they want to learn, and you provide them with a guitar that plays the kind of music that they want to play, your odds of them actually picking the instrument up on a regular basis are much, much greater. Nothing is more important to you. Okay? Nothing is more important than that your kid pick the instrument up every day. If they do that, they will develop some musical skill. If they don't do that, that guitar is going to be a dust collector in no time. So that's my advice. Have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. And again, if you want personal advice at no cost, just send me an email. I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you have. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.